Thank you for taking the time to watch this episode of Life Support. If you enjoy the content, we would ask that you like it, hit subscribe, and share it with your friends. Hey, welcome to Life Support. I'm so glad you're here. We love to have you along with us as we tell stories and talk about how Jesus is involved even in some dark spaces of life, but there's also a lot of hope coming with organizations like we're going to talk about today. We're talking about Together for Good. The president and founder is with us, Maridel Sandberg, and I'm so glad you're here again. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Yeah, we're getting to know each other now. This is the second time, and when people come here, they like us better each time, so we'll have you back over and over again.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So we're talking about your organization, and give me an overview again of what Together for Good is all about.
Sure. Our mission statement is we create pathways for the local church, that's you and me, to come alongside vulnerable children and families in Christ-centered ministry. And so we do that by recruiting and training local Christians in churches across the country and ask them to temporarily host a child voluntarily and or provide respite and or support.
And how do you find volunteers? And if somebody's interested in volunteering, what kind of steps do they need to go through in order to be ready to engage?
Yes, we are an unapologetically Christian organization, which means we have a statement of faith and a value statement about the value of human life and marriage. And so we ask you to be aligned with those things as you walk into that space. But most people come to us because they are ready to help. They're ready to serve, and they want to do something tangible. And this becomes something even more than tangible because we're asking them to temporarily host a child in their home while a parent is dealing with a crisis. And so that can look like, from the beginning, we're going to have an application process, references, a training on things about trauma, things about social capital, things about the needs in our community, so that they have a good idea of what kind of things. Many volunteers choose different scenarios of need based on their own personal experience. Mm-hmm. I dealt with an alcoholic father, so I want to help someone who's going to treatment. Mm-hmm. Or I have someone who didn't get to finish education because their parents were so poor. And so that kind of space really calls people to action. And then from there, we work through local churches. So we're asking churches to provide a ministry coordinator at their church, just another kind of volunteer who can then organize and support the team at a local church. Ideally, a church like this might have 10 host families and 20 more families to support them while they go through that process. And then we have ongoing training. And I would say the most significant thing, our sweet sauce, is that we have a professional staff that's going to walk with you. If you're not sure how to love your neighbor who's an alcoholic and goes to sleep and forgets their kids are running outside naked, then you want to have someone there to coach you through that.
Yeah. I would think this would be a really tantalizing thing for someone because we get so used to, in churches, if to engage, I'm going to write a check, or they're just asking me for money. And that's great that the church does that, but there's really no personal connection. And here you get to be right on the front lines and loving the person and the child, and that's awesome.
We want to connect you to a real person with real needs and do that by offering the extra support that's needed to kind of build a relationship with someone who's hurting. Mm-hmm.
You said you've been doing this about 8 years now. Mm-hmm. And so tell me about that. When did God lay this on your heart, and what steps did you take to get where you are now? You have all over the place, right? Waco, Des Moines.
Yeah, you know what? We're going where people are calling us saying, I want to love my neighbor, I want to help, and I want to do it through about my faith. Like, my faith is really important to me. There might be other organizations doing similar things across the country, but in this case, we're uniquely Christian. And what we're finding is that people are saying, I want to be the hands and feet of Jesus. I want to live it out in front of my kids and be on mission together with other people. It's like going on a mission trip, except you're doing it right in your own neighborhood, right in your own home. And so that's become a real important, and some of those people, Paul, are the same people who want to give us money. So I'm going to say that too. We'd like, money.
Money's not bad
for a nonprofit. But so it became about how do we mobilize God's people to do this work. And we went to the churches of local missions to say, this is local missions 101. We can train and equip to be missionaries in your own community, which is very attractive for most pastors who want to get their people mobilized, as well as then learn about trauma and the realities of our world through the stories of local families who are struggling.
Right. A lot of people listening go to suburban churches in more affluent areas. The church that we're in right now is in one of the more affluent suburbs of the Twin Cities. Is there a particular economic sector that is involved, or is this kind of everywhere, the need?
The need is everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a food shelf down the street here, not very far on 101.
There is.
And people
It's all
need stuff
hidden
more
here,
than
but-
ever. Right. That's true too. Similarly, many of the families we serve are hidden. It's unknown. If people were to know the numbers of the kinds of needs in our community, especially now since the trauma with Minnesota and fraud, they would be so shocked. And so to get
I haven't heard about that. Well, maybe you can fill me in when we're done.
There's so many opportunities. And what we say again is we believe everyone can do something. And so whether that's providing a meal for someone, providing transportation for someone, and getting to know them, walking with them, as opposed to trying to fix people.
Yeah.
The gospel has nothing to do with fixing. It's not anywhere in there. We are broken people. And I think we end up actually becoming very aware of our own brokenness, that it's hard to love people who are different than us. It's unusual, and we think we're such great people because we love each other, but sometimes it can be really difficult. So it's a challenge.
It's a challenge,
to the
yeah.
church.
Yeah, it's a stretching spiritual challenge for sure. But that's what God's all about. He likes to put us in those situations.
Yep, to be on mission with other people. Obviously, our professional staff helps with that. But so that volunteer opportunity, you can sign up and literally just drive cars or drive people around if you wanted to, or you can host children in your home. We're always
You're going to get a lot of men if you say all you have to do is drive.
Well, technically, I wouldn't let a man drive with a woman alone. That's probably not the best idea.
Well, but you could, say drive with your wife.
Exactly.
And then he would say, well, I'm in control. And you'd say, yeah. And he'd go like, good.
And
then he would never ask directions. So
it becomes a major prayer opportunity. Imagine
sure.
walking with a woman and bringing her to the doctor's office. How can I pray for you?
Yeah.
And nobody says no. People say, will you please?
Yes.
It's not that difficult. And if we can even just train a young person, a young mom, you can ask God and he'll actually answer you.
Yeah.
He'll show you the way. It might not be the way you want, but he's a trustworthy God.
So he tapped you on the shoulder, and somehow you got this idea to do this. Tell me about that process. Where did you kind of start thinking about this, and what was the process like to actually enact it?
Well, again, it comes back to my personal story of a crisis pregnancy, feeling the shame and guilt, and then adopting children whose mothers were courageous in making an adoption plan for their children. And what would it look like? I just remember even having family, even having trusted friends, there were moments, I had 8 children, right? So there were moments when I needed help. And especially one moment, it is very personal. I had a really bad car accident and lost a friend. Mm-hmm. And so I had a season of mental health problems, and I needed help, but I didn't even know how to ask. Mm-hmm. And that opportunity of being so alone in the midst of hundreds of friends meant that I knew what that felt like. And desperation takes you places you never thought you would go.
Yeah.
And so I remember one day, this is personal, maybe I shouldn't, being so overwhelmed, I said, I'm going to take my 2 kids and find a daycare. I need a break. And daycare after daycare said, come back next week with your paperwork. And I'm like, no, I need help right now. Mm-hmm. And I called a friend, and they weren't available. And I was like, okay, here I am alone and really struggling. So anyway, all of that emotional trauma and or conviction that God's people were called to this space, and that pro-life was important to me, and that Christians are known for being the ones who hate because we only care about babies. We don't care about moms who are struggling, or we don't care about those moms who are going to have to raise a child in a really hard scenario. And I want to disrupt that narrative and say, we are the family of God, and we love you, and we want you to be a part of us. And the best way to do that is to build relationships with people who don't have it, or don't have health, quote unquote healthy. I'm not sure we're healthy either, but
right, not all the time, for sure.
But we can tell a truth over and over again that God is God, and He will care for us as He promised, and He will care for you. So that's the personal story. We just started inviting volunteers into that space specifically from the gospel point of view. This is really important to me, that we were called to do this, and we need to obey.
Yeah.
And some of that means really just literally that, taking the step of obedience. For some people, that's what it takes. Others, their friends are joining. And once you get a church involved, hey, can you just help me out? I want to host the kid, but I need to be gone to a wedding on Saturday. Paul, will you come over, and you and your wife, to watch the kids while I go to the wedding? All of a sudden, my yes is easy. You've helped me make my yes easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this because, when we talk about other ministries, it's kind of an individual thing, where you can just sign up. And you know how we are in churches, the wife's at a Bible study on Monday, the husband goes to do something on Tuesday, and then we have youth on Wednesday, and the families are never together. This is not an individual sport you're talking about here.
Right, and the beauty is that when you're hosting a child, we just want that child to go along with you to soccer practice or piano lessons. There's no individualism in that regard, and it builds so much spiritual human capacity in families to know that I'm going to do this, and I'm not alone in doing it either.
Right.
I'm hosting a child. I'm on mission right today, changing a diaper, but someone else is there bringing me diapers.
Yeah. Well, you talked a little bit about the pro-life angle, and it seems to me that where the church needs to really understand where this all starts is that every single person is made in the image of God. Every single person is loved by God the same. You're not loved by God more because you're a churchgoer. He loves all of all these people that He's created, and He's commanded that we help them in some way. And there are many believers, of course, that are involved with different ministries and do a wonderful job of volunteering. But there's also a few that are sitting on the sidelines. So what would you say to somebody right now who's thinking, it sounds like it could be good, but I don't know, I don't think I can do that? What would you say to them?
I'd say proximity is everything. It will change your life to get close to a family who's struggling. And the opportunity to pray, just praying alone and teaching someone to pray, encouraging someone to pray, is a powerful tool that very simply can change a life. And then when it comes to practical service, there's just always a place for someone to care. And we're not perfect. The Lord says, learn to do good. Well, that means He's giving us the permission to try, right? And we're going to learn over time, man, this particular family doesn't need this, they need this. Or, oh my goodness, I need to quit judging her when she goes off on the weekend.
Right.
And so that opportunity to learn and grow in gospel truth for ourselves is really powerful. And we need you. We need more volunteers who follow Jesus, who want to love on other people. The hospital, I mentioned this earlier on the last episode, the hospital called and said, we need more people like you. We can't do this alone. The crisis nursery is overwhelmed. They need more people. And so why can't the church be the answer instead of some other organization? It's a beautiful picture of redemption and of opportunity for families.
Yeah, that's well said. The church can be the answer, but we've somehow divided out theology and Bible study from actually living it out at times. And we're all guilty of that at times. We're busy, we're tired, we've got our own families, our own grandkids, all that stuff going on. But what would you say is the greatest benefit to a volunteer? You've articulated some of it, but when it comes to how their own families react to this, everybody has to be involved, right?
Yeah, your kids.
So I would think it would draw people together.
Your kids in your own home are going to watch you display love and kindness and radical generosity, teaching kids how to share their toys. For goodness, we're going to have a guest for the weekend, and I'd like you to talk about the toys you want to share with this child. The opportunity for a mom to get into a place of coming to church not alone, but with you and your family. We just had a story of a mom get baptized. Her and her whole family got baptized at a church because she found Jesus in the midst of this crisis. And so sometimes we as Christians, I could go off on the sermon of miracles happen. They still do.
Yeah.
And we're called to be the light, and we are the light, whether we like it or not. But always great for your families. Always great for empty nesters. Come on, parents. You've already done this parenting thing. This is so much easier. This is like auntie and uncle, grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
You don't have to work hard at helping them learn how
Hey,
to.
golfing's boring. Like, come on, do this. Get off the golf course. Come on.
And
How many
do
times
something-
can you do that?
Do something with your wife together, be on mission right in your own home. It will shock you. It will surprise you. Many of our host families are, empty nesters now.
Yeah.
And they're actually, in some cases, the young adults are married with kids and they're hosting. And this grandma and grandpa all of a sudden get to be grandma and grandpa to another family that's outside their quote unquote bloodline. And they found great joy in just saying, we've got another grandchild and we've got another great grandchild and we're going on vacation, you're coming with. Right?
Yeah, that's really good. I feel like at times people in churches, when they retire, they check out. And I don't see that anywhere in Scripture.
Yeah, it's not written.
And I understand the need to change and your body changes and so forth, but it's one thing to not work anymore, quote unquote work at a job. It's quite another thing to check out on your Christian ministry. And this is a wonderful opportunity. And I'll tell you, this is something that's a very stretching thing for a lot of people because you're stepping into an unknown.
I have had pastors say to me, Maridel, this is very intimidating. I've asked my people to do a lot of things, but this feels really scary. And I'm like, we have, just for the record, we have documents in place that are legally approved. Right? I can take and temporarily give you my child.
Right.
And power of attorney is real, and it's all legal, so we're not going to cause any stress there. Mothers that come to us have to have medical insurance for their children. Most of it's the government medical insurance. So you don't have to worry about that. That works well. So the barriers that people usually ask are those two big ones in terms of opportunity in front of us. But the joy of the journey on mission with your church is just a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a pastor who's preaching it from the pulpit to say, guess what, we have a new opportunity. Most churches already have ministries that intersect with ours. The only difference is we're doing the particular of the child. You might have a food thing. You might have counseling for parents. You might have outreach in the community at a vacation Bible school things. But this is where you get to bring kids on mission with you, bringing them to church, bringing them to vacation Bible school. We challenge a lot of our volunteers, plan to bring children into your home the week you have vacation Bible school at your church.
Sure, there you go.
So you're going anyway. You might as well bring some other kids with you. And mom gets a week off and gets to have rest time. And then you invite mom back for that finale that happens at the vacation Bible school. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, the mission statement here at Ridgewood is making Jesus known through community impact. And so it may fit.
There you go.
May fit.
It may. It just may.
I just know that in our church, at least, if a family walked in with a woman in this situation and a child, they would be warmly welcomed. People would just gather around them. And I think there may be a fear that, I don't know how this is going to be seen by others, but in our church, and I'm sure in many churches, people think that's the greatest thing they've ever seen. And so why not try it?
It's most fascinating. Like, so if you have a family here who's hosting and they're bringing an extra kid to church, like, hey, where'd that kid come from?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then you get to tell the story. Well, actually, I'm helping a mom who's struggling. And that becomes our best
Yeah, that's really
PR.
powerful, actually, because that's putting pro-life into action.
Yep.
Instead of just railing against
Yes.
abortion advocates and so forth.
It's also solving a foster care crisis because those social workers at the county are working their butts off. And they literally are living on a string. Many times overwhelmed. Overwhelmed is not even like midnight, middle of the night. Things happen.
Yeah.
Crisis happens. It usually doesn't happen 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And so if we can be of service to our community that way and be the people who are known for helping in those moments, it's such a great opportunity.
It's like there's light shining for Christ everywhere on this. I mean, you're ministering to a person who may not know Christ, a child who needs help. You're providing a model for your neighbors and your family. You're helping your community, the people who work in your community, and you're providing an opportunity for them to just watch Christians do their thing.
Yep. We like to call it upstream ministry. Like, we don't want kids to fall into the traps of foster care and abuse and neglect. No. The number one reason, again, is for kids getting removed is neglect. Like, moms are not beating their children.
Right.
It's purely about, I don't have enough emotion. I'm too tired. I fall asleep and things happen. And so to give people that break is really important. Just any mental health therapist will tell you that's true. Actually, now Harvard's just done it, or Yale, I can't remember. Church is good for kids. Church is good for families, right?
Yeah.
And so why wouldn't we then invite more people in to learn and grow and have an opportunity to know Jesus and to know family?
I love those studies. It's kind of like you go like, yeah, we knew that. So how
Right.
much money did you spend on that? Because we could have told you that. Like, just come on over for coffee and we'll fill you in.
And the other thing we know for sure is the value of human relationship.
Yeah.
You can put people through program after program after program, and they're going to trip and fall. But the most powerful thing, whether it's kids in foster care, families who are homeless, whatever it is, one caring adult over time
Yeah, that's cool.
is the best indicator of human thriving.
Yeah,
and that's what we want. We want people to thrive.
That's really good. Okay, so a possible volunteer is listening right now. What do they do?
They're going to call up Together for Good at 651-440-4058 and say, I want to help. Or they're going to go on our website, tfgood.org, and sign up. And we'll call you and let you know when the next training is. It's all on the web. There are mothers and children out there who desperately need our help. We are just one phone call away. And let's build an army that says we are ready to serve, not because of us, but because of who God is and what he's called us to do.
Mm-hmm. And if you're in trouble right now and you're listening, same story, same number, same website.
tfgood.org, please help me, or I want help. I need help.
And you'll be there to do it.
And we'll be there to answer your call. Inevitably, the one thing that people say every time they call, I have no one else to call.
Mm-hmm. They're at the end of the rope.
Be the person that answers the call. And we'll walk with you through that, whether you're a person in need or whether you're a volunteer.
Yeah, that's good. You're doing great work. Thanks for sharing that with us, and thanks for doing what you're doing, making a lot of difference in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, just help us spread the word. Help us by bringing in more volunteers. And, of course, if there's resources you have to share and a vision for a bigger future for families, we'd love to talk to you.
Well, with our vast audience here, I'm sure the phones will light up
That's
as soon
great.
as you walk out of the room.
That's great.
Thanks a lot for dropping by.